Are we in a never bored epidemic? I look around my house and I see toys in every single room. We even have toy bins in the basement so we can do a toy rotation. And after the toys, we have board games and crafts and supplies and stickers and sports gear. You name it, we probably have it. And then once my son starts getting bored or restless at home, we'll go somewhere, we'll go to the zoo, we'll go to the conservatory, the children's museum, the playground. We'll go to get ice cream. However, now I'm worried that maybe I'm creating a problem. Do I actually ever allow him to get bored? Have I taken on the responsibility of all of his entertainment? Is that why I'm so exhausted? Don't answer that because it probably is, at least some of the reason. We really have this like quiet societal pressure to be enriching all of the time. It's easily seen on social media. You'll see like, do the short activity for your 1 year old, buy this DIY activity box for your toddler. It's just everywhere. And so that leads me to the question, is it okay for these kids to be bored? And honestly, I don't know the answer. I just started researching, which kind of felt ironic. Me just like stress searching Google whether my kid needs more stress in his life. Um, but we could go to like, so what is boredom? Boredom is described as a negative emotion. It also is described as wanting, but being unable to engage in a satisfactory activity. And that kind of happens right around the time my son starts doing laps around our first floor, or when he starts whining for me to turn the TV on for him. But I don't always want to do that. It feels like an easy way to get him to stop whining, if I'm honest. Um, but that's also the time that I start like frivolously searching for toddler activities near me on Google or Instagram. And my constant need to try and fill every moment of his day in order to not have a fallout should probably be studied. But let's go back a couple generations and we can think about how your grandparents or great grandparents grew up, and there were no toy bins. There were no activity boxes, there were no toddler enrichment classes. Kids played outside, they made up games with whatever was around. They entertained themselves because that was just expected. And parents weren't hovering the way that we do now, not because they didn't love their kids, but because life demanded something different of them. Laundry wasn't automatic, dinner took hours. There was no bandwidth to be the entertainment director as well. And so boredom wasn't a problem to solve back then. It was a part of being a kid, which makes me wonder, when did it become my job to fix it? When I started reading about boredom, I expected to find it was something we should try to minimize, something unproductive, something to avoid. But what I kept seeing was a slightly different message. Boredom isn't just empty time, it's that uncomfortable space where a child wants to engage with something but hasn't figured out what yet. And that space, it actually matters because when a child pushes through that discomfort, that's often on when they start something on their own. They build a fort, they line up cars, they grab paper and start drawing. They invent a game that makes no sense to anybody else but them. It's not that boredom magically turns into creativity every time. Sometimes it's just into more wandering around the house. But it's the pause before the initiation. And if I step in immediately every time that my son gets bored, he never has to practice that step. And I also realized something slightly uncomfortable. I don't think I actually hate his boredom. I hate the whining. I hate the restless energy. I hate feeling like I'm about to have to manage a meltdown. So I try to fix it quickly. I turn the TV on, I suggest a craft, go somewhere, I offer a snack, and I started asking myself, is that helping him or is that just helping me? Because boredom tolerance is a skill. Being able to sit in that in between space and decide what to do next is a skill. And skills take practice. And that doesn't mean that we never do activities. I'm not suddenly throwing away all the toys in the toy bin, and I'm not canceling the museum trips, but maybe I don't have to treat boredom like it's an emergency. Maybe I can let him do laps around the house for 5 minutes. Maybe I can say, I wonder what you could build with those Legos over there. Maybe childhood isn't supposed to be optimized every hour of the day, and maybe it is supposed to have gaps. And maybe those gaps are where a lot of growth actually happens. So I want to know, do you let your kids get bored or are you like me, Googling toddler activities at the first sign of a whine?